Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client's tarot reading. So for this client, I'm going to be focusing on a particular subject matter that is very, sensitive subject matter. And because of that nature, I'm going to be working with a bunch of different decks. I'm going to bring out all of the ones that I was feeling called for my client. So in a nutshell, my client went through a very traumatic experience. And as a result of that experience, there was a breakup in a relationship due to the physical, mental, and emotional trauma that this this client experienced. And so it's kind of like you relive the moment and so forth. I'm somewhat familiar with my own experiences in the past with certain things, so I completely sympathize with that. It's not easy to have to try to move on from a situation that you have absolutely no closure and no control in. So it is a very lengthy process, but it is definitely one that is doable to be healed from and to move forward from. So I'm touched that you trusted me to conduct this reading for you, as I know the subject matter can be very sensitive and just a little awkward for you and whatnot. Because of that, I really felt called to pull a card from The Universe Has Your Back. This deck is really is a really powerful deck for positive messages in that aspect. I also want to pull a card from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms to kind of give you a theme for the lesson learned from the situation. And I feel like called for that spiritual message. And also a card from the Cosmic Reading cards. So, and then I'm going to be doing the reading with the Vertigo Tarot, which is a very shadow, it's a really good deck for shadow subject matter, which I think is perfect for this theme. And then also my oracle deck I'll be working with is the Botanical Inspirations Oracle. So they're flowers, and I always see flowers as very we always see flowers as weak or fragile, but I feel like although other people might view you as weak or fragile, or maybe you view yourself in that aspect, it doesn't define you, and it shouldn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shuffle the cards just to pick my one card from each of those three decks so I can have some space on my table. Because I really want to set the tone for the reading, and that's what these cards are going to symbolize. These cards are going to symbolize the lesson, and just basically what you learned from it and what you should get out of it. So I'm going to keep the guidebook out because the guidebook for the Cosmic Reading cards is a powerful one. Same thing with the Hidden Realms. There's your card. And the universe has your back. I love it. I love it when the cards pick themselves. Okay. So, I'll shuffle the regular tarot and oracle after, but let's see what the theme of your reading is. The Cosmic Reading cards, I got Limitless for you. Beautiful image, Limitless. Now, Limitless is telling me, for one, that you have so much inner power, okay? That you have so much depth to you. that there are no limits and there should never be limits, and you should not put limitations on your life and on yourself. I love that the heart chakra is shining here. It's glowing, as well as the crown. To me, it's just kind of like she's in a state of peace. This image, the spirit in this image, is in a state of peace. I also feel like she's cloaked in white wings. To me, this gives me the image of white wings. And then these are like her layers. The layers of who made her who she is, which would be like the trauma, you know, the not so glamorous moments in one's life, and so forth. So Limitless, that's number 20. Let's see. Limitless says, don't conform to the beliefs of others. Live your own truth and share this with the world with love. So definitely don't conform to the beliefs of others. This is people's judgments placed on you based on your experiences. This is maybe you have the tendency, or you have had the tendency to limit yourself and your what you feel you are valued at due to the experience that you endured. Perhaps you place yourself below the person who did what they did to you. This could also be maybe you limit yourself in love, and have maybe in the past with your other relationships, thinking that you don't deserve true love, or you don't deserve the beautiful romance and whatnot. Maybe, you know, it probably took a lot out of you to really open yourself and prepare yourself for the present relationship that you were in. But I feel like it's opening your heart and being in love is it's been hard for you. There are moments where you feel like you have a setback. So let's see. This card, through this card, limiting beliefs and conformity are being addressed. It's easy to get caught up in the material world with its illusionary expectations, false sense of security, and living our lives in what society deems as perfect societal bubbles. People get lost in the games and falsity of their everyday monotonous existence. It says, you were born to fly, to sing your tune and dance your dance. You were born to truly live and experience this life in all its blazing glory. Reach for the stars and follow your dreams. I love that. So it's just like how I was saying, there are no limits and there should be no limits. And don't let your past limit you. Don't let your past experiences and the traumas that you went through become obstacles or barriers for you. You can get through this. You will get through this, and you can jump over the hurdles that will place themselves before you, because you may get over the initial experience, and it may take years, but you will get to a point where it won't affect you as much. But there will always be a moment where you either get lost in thought, something, you get a flashback or a memory, or you see someone's face and they remind you of that person, or somebody says something, or you drive by the location, or whatever it is. I completely sympathize with that. That's happened to me before. So you will always get drawn back to that experience, but it's how you push yourself forward and how you get right back up that counts. And so I feel like Limitless is beautiful. I feel like that's a good theme to start the reading off with. It's just showing, don't set limitations for yourself. Set yourself free, if anything. So the wisdom of the hidden realms, I got the Eagle King for you, the big picture, and angelic help. So Eagle King is kind of like a spirit guide for you, almost like a Native American spirit guide, or the Native American culture might be comforting or big with you. Perhaps maybe you have Native American blood in your family tree. Maybe the whole eagle, the bird, that signifies something. It could be freedom for you, or the power and the regalness of an eagle. You know, a lot of different things in that way. But let's see what the message is in the guidebook for number 12. So it says, the Eagle King is a sign that your highest destiny is within reach. You are on the right path now, even if you can't see where you're going. Eagle King soars high above the mountains and valleys of life and is able to see the big picture when you seem to be lost in a bit of fog. So it's similar to the Limitless card. It's saying, that there's no boundaries and that you have the ability to surpass so much. And then you have that ability as an eagle, you have the eagle eye, which was funny because in the last reading I gave for you, we did I pulled out the eye of Shiva. And so it's kind of like that same theme again, the evil eye, the all-seeing eye is watching over you, that kind of thing. It says, he makes a formidable ally as he takes your prayers up toward the sun and releases them to the divine. They will be answered for the highest good of all. It is a fortunate omen when the Eagle King decides to be your ally. So that's beautiful. It's like a protector. So perhaps you do have, like I said, there's a spirit guide, or maybe like the Native American culture is big with you in some way. So if you've had or experienced, a Native American spirit around you, or you've dreamt of them, I feel like they made themselves known through the card to trigger a reminder within you, or to trigger a memory perhaps that you are protected. There's someone on the other side watching over you. If you have ancestors that have Native American blood within them, perhaps this is a sign of a past loved one who is making themselves present for you. This could be a symbol that they are here with you and they're watching over you. It could be a symbol that they are a guardian of you and a protector. So it's a lovely little message, and I feel like I can only scratch the surface of that, but for some reason I'm feeling like when you see it, you'll know more. Like it'll make more sense for you. It'll be more personable. And then the other card I pulled is Hope is the Conduit for Miracles. So if you have doubted, your ability to surpass the obstacles, if you ever feel like you'll never get over this hard moment, or if you feel like you'll always be broken in some way or the other, having hope and having faith that all of this stuff is going to work out in the way that it's meant to, it's a powerful realization. And having hope, it's basically saying be positive, turn your negative experiences into positives, see the color, in the more darker moments. There's always light within the darkness. So it's beautiful. It's like there's just so many different messages that are coming forward for you, and I just feel like when it comes to accepting what happened to you, forgiving the situation. Maybe you'll never be able to forgive the person, but just understanding that things happen for a reason and you will grow from it. And there are lessons that you have learned from the situation and the experience that have created you to be a powerful being in the present life. And, I'm not saying that we deserve what happened to us. I don't feel I deserved what happened to me either, but what happened to me has allowed me to be a voice for other people who are currently going through what I went through. And I feel like it gives me the experience to be able to share wisdom to hearts that are hurting. So that's the way I like to look at it in a positive. It's I had not so glamorous moments myself, but it's also allowed me to relate to people in a way that not everybody can. So let's do your regular reading now. I think that's a powerful message. I'm really digging that. I love that I picked those cards for you. I'm glad that I decided to go with those decks because I feel like they're going to really paint the way. And I feel like that Limitless card is speaking to your soul too, as you were, seeing it being read. I feel like you've been guilty of setting boundaries for yourself, or feeling like you aren't capable of doing some certain things, or you're not normal, or I feel like there's times where you really feel like you are not worthy enough, and I want you to know that you are. And that Limitless card is showing you to own your pain. Wear it with pride, because I feel like that's what she's doing, is she's wearing her pain, but at the same time rise above it. So this card wants to come out. I'm going to pull that one. Okay, so the tarot, we are doing the Chariot, the Star, the Hierophant, the Four of Pentacles, Judgment, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Love it. So what I'm seeing here for the theme is the process of growth. You have a crap ton of pentacle cards, which is telling me a need for a lot of balance and a need for growth, planting your seeds and really focusing on the future. Focusing on the growth of your future is very important here. I'm also seeing with like with the main card here. So this is the core of the reading, the Chariot card. The Chariot card is your inner power and your motivational guide to push you forward. The Chariot card comes up when you are being called to keep moving in a forward direction. And I feel like that's, you know, that's what you're doing. But for some reason, and it's interesting that the Chariot is focusing on the past. I love that the direction that he's facing is into the past. And the past card here is the Hierophant. And I feel like the Hierophant symbolizes those limiting beliefs that you are struggling with. I feel like the Hierophant is kind of like that person, or that maybe this is like a mental thing for you, where it's, to me, it's like the fingers are almost like they're pointing, saying like, I told you so. I told you so. Like, I feel like that's what the Hierophant in this image is saying to me for you in the reading. Almost like it's just that person, you know, like when you make a mistake and there's always that one person that's going to say, ha, I told you so. You shouldn't have done that, or you shouldn't have gone there, or you shouldn't have dated that person, or whatever. I feel like that's who this Hierophant is saying. And the Chariot, because the Chariot is facing the past, I'm really drawn to that. Usually I don't pay much attention to that direction, but he's facing into the Hierophant, which is telling me that it's almost like before you move forward with a project, or before you move forward with your life, it's like you have to check back on the past. It's almost like you have to get permission from this person or this emotion or whatever this is for you. It's almost like you have to get permission from that to say, am I okay to go forward? And I want you to stop doing that, because I feel like that's what's acting as your limiting belief. Okay. Then you're being crossed with the Star, and it's amazing because the Star is healing. The Star card is all about healing from your pain. It's about hope, having hope for the future, which is very much the same message as the Miracles Now card, which is hope is the conduit for miracles. So having hope, having faith that you're going to get through this, that's what the Star card is resembling here. I really love the synchronicity of these cards for you. They're speaking to me. It's acting as a block for your Chariot. So it's basically saying, if you do not forgive yourself, if you do not allow yourself to start the process of healing and moving forward, every single time you check back with the past to ask, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I go out tonight? You know, you do that mentally. It's like, and you may not even realize that you're doing it. You are literally giving the past the past experience and that person permission to rule your life. And then it's very symbolic for that. So I'm seeing the Star card to cross you as a block. It's saying the only way you're going to get through this is if you turn away from looking into the past and asking the past for permission and moving forward. Heading in a forward future direction is your only way to get through this. You have to stop looking back. That's how I'm seeing the cards. Next, we have the Four of Pentacles. And to me, the Four of Pentacles, like the image is just speaking to me in terms of really lining up your priorities, okay, and keeping them close. I feel like the Four of Pentacles is saying your projects, your aspirations, your goals, your future, your dreams, keep them close to you and limit them. Don't have a whole like laundry list of goals and dreams, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And keep your plans close. I feel like don't overshare with people. I also feel like the Pentacles can symbolize like the past memories that hurt. Keep them close and be very choosy with who you talk to about your past, because I feel like you get a lot of this. You get a lot of the judgments, and they may not be doing it to your face, but I feel like you get a lot of people who just don't understand. They don't know because they didn't go through what you went through. So picking and choosing who you share your deeper, darker moments with is going to be very important, especially for the healing process, because you only want people who are going to lift you up to be part of that than people who are just going to put judgment on you. So the bottom cards that I pull, basically it's kind of like supporting the future or like the action that you need to take. And I see Judgment. I feel like Judgment is kind of like lifting yourself up. And this is like, the fact that it's a baby reminds me of like your child self or the past when you were younger, whenever this situation took place. It's about lifting yourself up and really putting it on a pedestal, really identifying your trauma and what happened and seeing it for what it was so that you could finally say, you know what? I went through it. I went through the pain, and now I'm ready to move forward. Now I'm ready to forgive, to accept what happened. I see the lessons in what I went through. Now I'm ready to make something better of myself. And I feel like that's what Judgment is. I also feel like Judgment card is also saying, just to be aware that not everybody is going to see eye to eye with what you went through. Not everybody's going to understand your emotions and what's going on with you because they didn't go through that. And that's what happened. That's a prime example of the relationship that you were in that didn't work out. That person didn't understand what you were going through emotionally and mentally. And because they couldn't align and they didn't have the patience to understand or to ask questions, you know, maybe it made them uncomfortable. They took the easy way out and they left. Sometimes that happens, and that is part of the experience. We lose people and then we gain new people who will be supportive. So for every person that you lose in life that just doesn't get it, I know it hurts. It's happened to me multiple times, but you also gain friends or acquaintances, even just coworkers who just make you feel good because they get it. So don't sweat. Don't sweat some of the people that decide to take the easy way out. Understand that not everybody is going to get what's going on in your mind and in your heart. The Two of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles really makes me feel like it's a process of growth, and it's the process of building and rebuilding your identity. I'm also feeling with the Two of Pentacles, you see the black and the white. It's kind of like seeing both sides to the coin, both sides to your experience, the good and the good and the bad. There's always a positive in even the most ugliest, darkest moments of our lives. There is a positive there. If you can find it, it will be amazing for you to really kind of have a new perspective on your experience. Trust me, it took years for me to see a positive in what I went through, but it's there. It exists. And then the Three of Pentacles, I like how in this image, the pentacle is kind of like stuck in the person's mouth. Almost it's like they can't speak. It's like they can't speak or whatever, there is going to be a moment where this pentacle is going to come shooting out of its mouth. It's giving me the impression that speaking out loud of your experience might be very healing for you. Maybe you haven't really verbalized it ever. Maybe you've never shared it out loud. It was something that you kept down on paper, or maybe you've only spoken it out loud to one or two people. Maybe this can symbolize not keeping it a secret anymore. Maybe you'll start to shine some light on your past and really come out and share your experiences and your pain with people. Because I also see this as like someone who's being purposely shut up, like purposely told to don't speak, don't talk about what happened. But maybe it's like now the truth is going to start coming out. So it could be that for you too. That's something that I see coming up in the near future when we talk about the process of healing. And then with the Botanical Inspirations card, I pulled the Pink Rose, which is grace and sweetness. So I love the pink rose. Grace and sweetness is showing, it says the pursuit of perfection then is the pursuit of sweetness and light. So seeing lightness in your darkness for one, but the pursuit of perfection. Now, never strive to be perfect, but I feel like the main message here of this card is just saying, make what you have and what you are and what your life has been, it may, as damaging as it was, as much of a mess or in pieces as it might be, make the most of it and make beauty out of it. And that is perfection in itself. So I feel like that's a big message here with the pink rose. Next, we have the forget-me-nots. This is eternal memories. I love this. It says the best things in life are the ones that are the people you've loved, the places you've seen, and the memories you've made along the way. So that's powerful. I'm getting two messages from this card. So obviously the main one here from the card itself is focusing on the positives in your life, focusing on the beauty, not just dwelling in the past and dwelling on your hurts and your pain, but also dwelling on the beauty of your life. I'm also seeing this message, this is one that's not in the card, but I'm seeing it as eternal memories, is being comfortable and accepting that this experience will never go away. You can never erase it. It's something that is just, it's a part of you now, but it's basically what you make out of it. How you become stronger. How do you get up when you are on the floor? You know, how do you get past it when you're having a moment? How do you build up from that? And understanding that the forget-me-nots, it's kind of like saying you will always have that past as a memory, but don't let it limit you. Don't let it damage you. It's kind of like what you make of it. So that's how I see that message too. And finally, we have the Sweet William. This is gallantry, grant me a single smile. I love it. And it says, Sweet William, small, has form and aspect bright, like the sweet flower that yields great love delight. Beautiful. So I think that this one kind of symbolizes the new person in your life. This person brings you happiness. This person makes you feel good. This person is starting to accept and understand. I feel like you're going to come to a time where you're going to be really expressing, you know, bits and pieces of your past to this person. But I also feel like they're going to understand you on a different level. So I feel like also this card is like saying, focusing on the brightness, focusing on beauty, and just don't let your pain define you, but also don't forget that it is part of you too. It makes you who you are. So that basically is the gist of your reading. Just put this here so you could have a look at your cards. It's a powerful reading, and I hope that it gave you something to think about. I hope it gave you something to consider. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me in email. And anyone who's watching, this is a tarot reading. It's available in my shop. Click the link below if you guys are interested. And yeah, thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.